Well, well, folks, I'm back again. Steven once again. And today we're going to talk about the heat races that took place last night. My thoughts on that. Who I think, based on last night's results, would win the clash. The Dash for Cash Xfinity races and the Daytona Truck Challenge events has been confirmed for 2025. And I'm going to talk about that as well. Plus, leadership change over at Team Penske. But before we start, don't forget, if you like this content, please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel for more content like this, leave comments, let me know how I'm doing and whatnot, and to share your opinions on the matter as well. And always remember one thing. I appreciate every one of you who do watch these videos and whatnot. It does help me out a lot. So I do want to thank you for that. So, first things first, all four heat winners last night who will take the first four spots in tonight's clash are Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher, Denny Hamlin, and Tyler Reddick. Now, they're not the only ones we're racing tonight. But there is one other thing that should be worth noting. If Ryan Blaney does not make it in the top two tonight for the last chance race, he will be in based on points, since Joey Logano did race his way into the clash last night in one of the heat races. In fact, all three of the RFK racing team and all three Trackhouse cars did make the clash. Along with the majority, I think, of the Gibbs and Hendrick teams. I think the only ones out of those who are in tonight's race, and I could be wrong, folks, so just keep that in mind, are Kyle Larson for Hendrick and Ty Gibbs for Gibbs. But starting on the front row for the last chance race will be Ty Dillon and Zane Smith. And I will say this, the heat races last night were interesting to say the least. While there weren't much passing up front per se, the battle between Justin Haley and Kyle Busch in the first heat race made that event memorable, because otherwise, while you have bumping and banging like you do at a short track, the race itself wasn't bad. I know some of you out there want the event to go back to Daytona and wanted exclusive only to past clash winners and pole awards only. I get that, but just keep this in mind. NASCAR's got a lot of people to please. It isn't just the fans. Those are got to please the manufacturers, the drivers, the teams, the sponsors, plus the media partners. And NASCAR would not please everyone. Sure, the fans are the majority on things, and I get that, but at the same time, you're not gonna get NASCAR to please everyone. And while you can't criticize the organization for doing something stupid, can't you at least praise them for when they do something right? Now, I'm not saying this event was a success or anything, mind you, but if you'll take time to criticize them, then how about praising them too when they do something right as well? Because if all you're going to do is criticize just because, then why are you still watching? Just think about it, that's all, okay? But anyway, Both Last Chance Race and the Clash will be on Fox tonight, starting about 6 o'clock. So don't forget to tune into Fox or MRN Radio if you want to see how these two events will play out. There's a shakeup over at Penske Motorsports I want to talk about right quick as well. Tim Cedric will no longer be there to oversee the day-by-day operations of Team Penske, though he will remain on board as president of their IndyCar program. Ron Warzlewski, sorry if I butchered the name, will stay on as managing director for the IndyCar team, while Michael Nelson will remain as president and VP of operations of the NASCAR team, and Jonathan Dolgild, again sorry if I butchered the last name, will remain managing director of their INSA program. Now, Eric Eastup, whose YouTube channel I do watch, by the way, and catch and comment on, asked if this would affect Austin Cedric in any way, shape, or form, since Tim's his father. Now, personally, I think it might to an extent, though whether or not it means he'll be kicked out of the 2 car remains to be seen. But without his dad being there at the shop regularly, I think it might either help or hurt his chances to stay in the 2 car beyond the season. We'll just wait and see how he performs this season to find out one way or the other. But to be honest, I think he'll probably stay on anyway, because his father still is still there at the race shop, even though he's not directly involved in the NASCAR side of things no longer. Fox has also announced, when it comes to Speed Weeks anyway, their Daytona Trucks and ARCA broadcast team. Jamie Little will do play-by-play for both the ARCA and the truck races. She'll be joined by Kevin Harvick and Joey Logano for the trucks, Phil Parsons and Trevor Bay for the ARCA races, respectively, in the booth, while Josh Sims, Regan Smith, and Amanda Bullisk will cover pit road for the truck races. While Bullisk and Caitlin Fincey would handle pit road for the ARCA series side of things. So, I guess if Rick Allen does return to Fox, it'll be a part-time deal, or to go change the booth week by week, as it were. And look, I like Jamie Little. She's a great pit reporter, whatnot, but I don't think she has what it takes to be in the play-by-play position. But ultimately, Fox will do what he wants, I guess, when it comes to how they cover the ARCA and Truck Series races. So I guess Jamie will be the permanent play-by-play announcer for the majority of the truck races and the majority of the ARCA races going forward. We'll just wait and see if or when Mike Joy does retire, we'll do put in a broadcast booth for the Cup races. But to be honest, I kind of wish we put Mike in the truck booth and maybe get that guy who called the ARCA racing one time to handle the ARCA series. Or maybe try a different person in a booth that they got who isn't active in a booth regularly. But that's just me regarding that. One other thing I do want to talk about right quick is that the Dash for Cash and Triple Truck Challenge are back for 2025. Now, all these events will take place during the spring of 2025, by the way, so just so you know. For the Xfinity Series, it'll start at Las Vegas, then the Homestead Miami race, they'll go to Bristol, and then Rockingham to wrap things up. As a reminder, the Cup drivers would not be allowed to compete in those 4 races. But a former Cup driver, a la Casey Kane, could still be allowed to compete in those events, like in case of at Rockingham. But an active Cup driver can't, so just keep that in mind. So expect to see a Cup driver besides Kane, or former Cup driver besides Kane, race at Rockingham. You're out of luck unless he's a former Cup driver. Same thing with the Truck Series, with that Triple Truck Challenge for Martinsville, Bristol, and Rockingham as well. And I'm glad they're keeping this series I'm glad they're keeping these events going. That in its season tournament, later this season, for the TNT portion of the season on the Cup side of things, would make these races very interesting to watch, or listen to, as it were, to determine who's going to get the bragging rights and the money when all this is said and done. And of course, we have to wait and see on all of this as well. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the heat races we had last night, and everything else I want to talk about right quick. But before I forget, I almost forgot to say a couple more things right quick. First is that Jimmy Johnson has took over as majority ownership of Legacy Motor Club, which means that Spencer Gallagher's dad, whose name I can't remember at the moment, and Richard Petty will be the ambassadors for the team respectively. Jimmy, all I can say is this: I hope you know what you're doing by being an owner, because last year it wasn't a good start for the team. Now I will update. We'll put in the description which Gallagher I'm referring to in the description below, as well as my comment. So keep an eye out for that. Now this is just a NASCAR channel, but this is also an animation channel as well. So I want to end this on a sad note with 3 passings that took place late last year, but it was announced a few days ago. If you grew up watching Scooby-Doo, particularly Scooby-Doo Where Are You?, the season 2 singer of his theme song, along with the Chase songs, who had a hit single with Rocky, Oscar Roberts, sadly passed away back on November 1st of last year. Now, I didn't say what he died of, but I believe he was 79 or so when he passed away. Also of note, former NASCAR pit reporter and play-by-play announcer Bill Weber passed away just before Christmas last year as well, at the age of 65, I believe. And finally, in the passing side of things, it was just announced recently, but John Irwin, who voiced He-Man, Morris the Cat, and Regimento, passed away back in December as well. But his death was announced recently as well. Now I will update anything I can about them in the description below as well. But my thoughts and prayers to the fans, friends, and family members of those who passed away. And also my thoughts and prayers go out to the 67 victims of the plane crash over the Potomac River over Washington, D.C. that took place a few days ago as well. Apparently, for those who weren't aware, it made contact and crashed into a military military helicopter, and both of them crashed in. Both of them fell into the Potomac River. As of when this video is being made, no final word on what caused the crash. And I don't like to report news events or tragic events on this channel. I do want to bring that up just because I do want to at least acknowledge that just because I do want to at least acknowledge their passing as well, and hope that I hope we get some resolution and try to prevent a similar incident from happening again. Because on board there were some figure skaters, so in a way it ties into sports, and NASCAR is a sport, so that was another reason why I decided to plug that in as well. If it seems tasteless on my part, I do apologize for it, folks, but it is what it is. Anyway, I'll see all of you next time. Bye. Incidentally, folks, I double-checked Wikipedia, and the Gallagher I referred to was Maury Gallagher. So I'm going to add that at some point during the video as well. Now back to the main topic of the video, please. Or rather, I'll see you next time. Bye. So, one more thing. Oscar Roberts was 79 when he passed away due to health issues, although it didn't say what. No word on what killed Bill Weber, but he was 67, and John Erman was 88 and died of natural causes. I want to at least get that out of the way right quick as well. For real this time, I'll see all of you next time. Bye.